Yo, check it out. New build alert. Here we go. I've been grinding this build on my live stream over on YouTube, so if you want to watch that, you can watch that. But I just made this build. At the time I'm recording this, I made this build on Sunday. So I'm still getting used to this build. It's a different build. It's a new kind of build for me. If you've watched my Jokic build, you've watched any of my lives that involve my Jokic build, I feel a lot more at home with that build. It fits my playstyle real well. Just getting boards and passing it to you guys in chat and people that are subbed up. So this is new. I'm making a big that doesn't pass well, can dribble, not really a great shooter, but can dunk well. Probably a better defender, definitely a better defender than my Jokic build. So just a new territory for me. So I'm not gonna bash the build just yet. It has been a bit of a struggle for me just to get used to this, but you guys wanted a Kevin Garnett build, so I'm going to deliver it. I'm going to try to master this build the best of my ability. With that being said, I accidentally made my build a power forward. Now, obviously, Kevin Garnett, he was a power forward, but in 2K, you got to be a center. My stats are very skewed right now because I'm running with centers. I've been center one time, and the one time that I was a center, I had like 20 boards and 10 assists. So I definitely know that there's potential with this build. It's just hard to see it right now because I've been running power forward. But anyways, enough of this biatchin', and let's just talk about the builds. This is Kevin Garnett. I watched a lot of highlights of Minnesota Timberwolves Kevin Garnett from 03 to 04. When he won MVP, I think he averaged like 24, 14, and 5. Steal and a half, 2 blocks. Not as good of a three-point shooter as I thought, but he gets it done in the mid-range, which is where I think when it comes to my play style, I think I can make it work. But let's talk about the physicals first. So obviously you're going to make him a center, 6'11", 237, 275. The speed is going to be, what is it going to be, a 66. So if you want to make him bigger, because obviously the speed is a bit lower, you can. This is just what I went with for whatever reason right there. 90 strength, you're going to get that brick wall and immovable enforcer gold. Kevin Garnett, this is like his weight for the most part, so being able to get 90 strength shouldn't be too crazy in terms of who Kevin Garnett is, but as a center in 2K, you definitely want that. 80 vert, and then we're going to put the stamina at 95 actually. So everything's going to make sense while we make this thing happen. So let's talk about the defense first, because KG was just known for his defense more than anything. We're going to lower this to a 36, and we're going to put this interior to an 82. Obviously, you get the post-move lockdown on silver, but we're really doing it for the workhorse on gold. I want to be able to make plays defensively, chase down blocks, everything that KG does pretty much. I have that on my Jokic build, and it's unbelievable. The difference between this build and Jokic build, this one has an 87 block. My Jokic build has a 78, I believe. Definitely notice this block a lot more. Like I said, I haven't played a lot of games with this build yet, so I'm still working on my badges, but I have Anchor Silver right now. Notice that a lot. Eventually, we're going to Pogo on gold. I don't have that right now, but I have Pogo Bronze on my Jokic build, so yeah, I think this is obviously elite blocking. And just like my Jokic build, we're gonna go with a 93 board. 93 board is very, very good. Box out beast on Hoff, excuse me. And I think we're actually gonna keep the defensive board on 78. This 78 D board really feels like an 84, 85 because of the gold rebound chaser. It's really helpful, and obviously we already talked about the pogo stick being on gold. Really like the defenses build. Like I said, put him at center, and it's really going to do wonders for you. Let's talk about the playmaking. So you're only going to have a 75 pass. I've been toying with this pass a little bit, knowing that KG, he's not going to have a ton of pass. I definitely think that I could have changed this. But if I really am that stuck on passing, I'll just go to my Jokic build. But for right now, I really don't have any problems with that. I haven't had the privilege of being able to dribble with this build yet, but eventually it's going to have a 62 ball handle and a 48 speed with ball, so we can get big driver on silver. One thing I do notice right now with my build is that I have my ball handle like 55, and just the little itty bitty dribble moves that I can do definitely makes a huge difference when I'm guarded by like a center or when I'm guarded by someone bigger than me. That's why I say put this at center, because this dribbling, you're really going to notice it against the center. They're going to be very slow. Once you see the rest of the build, it's going to make even more sense. But I really like what I did with this. Triple strike on bronze isn't too bad. And if you want to go, more than this, you're more than welcome to, obviously, with Kevin Garnett. But for me, the way that I'm going to play, this was more than enough to me. Shooting. This is one of the interesting parts to the build. We're going to have a 71 free throw just because your midi is going to be an 86. You're really doing this for open looks gold. That's like the number one thing we're doing that for. Obviously, you get midi magician on gold as well. Very helpful there as well. If you've hit superstar 3 or whatever it is for Kevin Durant fade, it's really good with this build, I will say. Kevin Garnett has only hit 173s in his entire career. So I didn't want to leave this right here because on a 6'11", shooting is relatively cheap. So we went up to 65 for the corner specialist on bronze. I'm shooting about 60% from 3 with this build right now. So I really don't notice any problems with it. It feels a little bit better just because you're going to have catch and shoot on gold. You're going to have open looks on gold. Green Machine's going to be on silver. Claymore obviously helps when you're just standing still. So you get a lot of boost because of your midi. But yeah, so no problems there. Really like the shooting on this build, to be honest. I didn't think that I was going to like 65 shooting. Didn't think that it was going to be noticeable at all. But and I know that KG, like I said, hasn't made a lot of threes. But in 2K, you got to be able to hit 65. I think is honestly fine. Could it be better? Yeah. You can tweak the build to your liking, but I wanted to be able to shoot a little bit. And Prime KG was more so known for his mid-range game, so that's why we have the 86, and we're going to do the post control to an 85. I've made videos on this post control. I think it's the most underrated stat this year in 2K is post control. It adds, obviously, Kevin Garnett works for the mid post. His post control is crazy in Minnesota if you watch any highlights of him from that time period. But, this is the most underrated thing to 2K. This adds a whole dimension to your game with your player. Yes, you can shoot, you can dunk, you can dribble. But if you can put your back to the basket and really, get, freak nasty with your post moves, I mean, you're going to be unguardable, my friend. Especially with the 90 strength, you're going to get the back down Punisher. Everything's going to be on gold right here. This is irrelevant, but I mean, it gives a boost to your teammates. But gold dream shake, gold post spin, Hoff post fade is really what we're looking for. Gold drop stepper, really no complaints with that side of the build. And then I think we're going to wrap it up right here. We're going to max this out. Boys, we're going to max that out. I really think that, let me see, did I mess something up? I think we just put this up all the way. So this is the build, and right here, I want to go 90 driving dunk. I wanted to make use of my ball handle, and I think that, obviously the meta for 2K is a 90 driving dunk. So let's just say we lowered this. We wanted to keep the 80 vert and do a standing. You could do this instead if you really want to. Me personally, I'm not very good at standing dunk. You can say it's user error, that's fine. You could do this instead. This would be the alternative, I would say. But for me, I don't do a lot of standing dunks. I don't really get myself down there a ton. So it's hard for me to say, let's put it on for me. But, for what I'm looking for, this is going to suit my play style more, I think. Precision dunker is going to be on gold. Posterizer silver. Aerial wizard if I want to get, fly through the paint and get a board dunk put back, then maybe. Slithery is going to be helpful, and obviously it brings up your layup a little bit, so you're going to have pro touch on gold. You're going to have fearless finisher on bronze, so you're going to notice a lot. I think you're going to notice that a lot as well. Like I said, if you want to do 92 standing dunk instead, I definitely understand it, but what I'm noticing with this build off the rip, it's not so much that, I'm dribbling and driving to the rim to dunk. I can backdoor my big guy and dunk immediately. it's really what I've noticed the most with my driving dunk. And I don't think with standing dunk you're going to be able to do that. You're going to be, um, you're going to be patient and waiting under the rim to standing dunk. But with this, you can just go up right away. As long as you have good animations on, um, you can go up with a dunk right away on a back door. So I really like that. I've caught some bodies already. So I'm still trying to get used to it. Obviously, I've only played a handful of games with this build. That's what it's going to look like right there, though. You guys voted on this build. You guys voted for Kevin Garnett. So if I can grow some nuts and maybe make another build, I will do it. You just gotta show some love on this video. If you're interested in running with me with this build alongside you, feel free to sub up, like the video, comment below if you want to run. If you sub, I don't know when I'm going live. Usually it's over the weekend. So if you're interested in that, hit the sub button, get notified when I go live. If you like the content, we've been growing really fast. We hit 800 subs, so I really, really appreciate that. Thank you. Um, and yeah, appreciate the support. I'm gonna just get to grinding this build. I love you. Peace.